Well, good morning, ladles and gentle spoons. How the heck are ya? This is the stomach crisis dame coming at ya because gotta get started, gotta get moving, have much, much, much to do. And I wanted to check in because the year's almost over and much has happened to me. And I know that much has happened to you. I know some people who've gotten sick, and I know a lot of people who have hurt themselves and hurt others and have taken their lives, and loss of jobs and loss of wellness and just loss. Too much loss, too much lack, too much being taken away from us. I guess I'm checking in. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm checking in. I'm going to start talking about my feelings. I'm going to start talking about my thoughts. I'm going to start talking about the desert of the real. Bless the Matrix. Welcome to the desert of the real. And I suppose it begins with what I did this year before the COVID announcement, before the lockdown, before the over politicized information of science and wellness and health while during the lockdown. I have been unemployed this whole year. My sweetheart and I have suffered homelessness for the last 5 months. And yet I have much to be grateful for because I'm not sick. And before the lockdown, I'd already been diagnosed with different mental health ailments and different physical health ailments, to all which doctors shrugged their shoulders at me and they're like, yeah, good luck with that. You get that figured out, you know, let me know, we'll write a book. I actually had very intelligent professionals tell me, I don't know what to tell you, and if you get it figured out, let me know. So this is me figuring it out, and I believe I have. And I believe it starts with breaking the vicious cycle, quite literally. So in order to break a vicious cycle, you have to pick a place to start. And unfortunately, I'd already suffered so many tragedies and traumas and hurts, large moments of lack, great moments of things being taken away from me. And one of those major ones, one of the last major ones, was the loss of my father-in-law. Cancer took him, and cancer took him fast. And it was life-changing. It was the 180 that everybody needs. It was the harsh awakening that I thought I had already lived in so many ways and had not. It would really hurt to lose my dad. He was a good man. So, changed how I ate. It's been 2.5 years. No deviation, not on purpose. Not on purpose. No cheats, no shortcuts. Shortcut your food, shortcut your life. There is no lack in the world. It's a lie. There is no ongoing suffering. That's a lie. And there ought not to be ongoing lockdown. That's a vicious lie. I don't like being punished for things I haven't done. I've got shit, and I've got a whole bunch of diagnoses attached to my brain because I've already been punished for shit I didn't do. So there will be coming a breakdown of things. I'm just going to start talking because I'm not doing anything else. Thanks, no thanks to a government that doesn't know me, a old presidency, new presidency. I don't fucking care who is standing behind that podium. It is how the other half lives, and they wish to be our parents, and it's not a healthy relationship. It's a codependent relationship. I see how my family, my literal relatives, suffered lack and developed self-love deficit, and because of it developed codependency, and many of them fell in love with and had several relationships with narcissists. There's so many things that I've experienced, and I'm not a doctor, and honestly I don't know anything about anything, but I am really grateful to those out there who are also not doctors and not specialists and not a piece of paper certifying that you're a something, but that you choose to just be something. I'm deeply inspired by those individuals, and I suppose I've been watching them from afar and respectfully waiting my moment. I wish to be helpful. I wish to offer information that may help another. So many people have been generous and kind in many different ways, but the ways that helped me the most was information. I didn't have much approaching the world, and I fear that many of us today lack information. And if you lack information, how could you ever discover truth? And if there's no information, how can you ever develop a critical thought for yourself, or a choice for yourself that is better for you if you don't have something to choose from? I put down my way of life. It was very, very important to me that nothing was ever taken from me again, that nothing was ever going to hurt me for no reason. I learned in therapy I deserve everything I earn, and if I have not earned a certain kind of punishment or a certain kind of isolation or a certain kind of to be ignored, I didn't earn that. I didn't work for that. I didn't do anything to want that. And so watching Dad die, we decided to change our diet, but it couldn't change. It couldn't be a diet. It wasn't going to be a lifestyle. It was simply putting down all the information I had gathered and picked up new information. And that was it. That was the life-changing moment, picking up new information. I'd like to share that information. And there's going to be so much. Oh my gosh, there's so much. And I don't know how it ends. I don't know how it ends. Because I'm still on the path and I'm still on the journey. And I want to make it very clear I'm not special anything. I have no certifications. Never formally went to school. I just feel like I have earned the doctorate of life over and over again. Professional person. I'm a certified human being. And I don't know what else to do except say no. So, nice to meet ya, the world. This is Ren, the stomach crisis dame, saying I have boundaries. I'm saying no to your lockdowns. I'm saying no to your overwhelming lack. And I'm saying no to your lies. I'm saying no to the split wherein I was raised by a codependent family and I was basically 40 when I finally escaped, really walked away from the overwhelming punishment of a cage that I just was born in. I find the abuse of the overreaching hand of the government to be a very devouring mother. It is unhealthy. And it is not right. And I'm just somebody. I'm not anything. But I'm getting hurt by being told no. You can't. Well, why? No reason. Don't question me. Go back to your room. No. I've been told that one too many times, and I've been told that for 40 years, and I'm not going to do that anymore. If we cannot teach one another, share with one another, open up to one another as a universal family, and start to break down and shut down these codependent tendencies and these archetypal reaches. How many other relationships do you have, do I have, that we all have, wherein it's somebody is lacking love and somebody is a narcissist eating it up? How many vampire relationships do we have? How many places do we keep going back in to get hit, to get beat, to get yelled at, to be overly criticized, to be screamed at? Words are so terrible. They can be so terrible. They are powerful, but they work for good as well. They work for good, and I wish to participate. I am now going to participate. I am done talking about wanting to participate. And this is me stepping into the game. I'm going to show the whole world what my boundaries look like, how I define it, and what I'm going to do to defend it. Feeding and feeling are so similar that for me they're the same thing. What I take in, what do I allow to touch me? And I disagree with the very loud narrative. And I believe so many of us fall victim to it because we fell victim to it in our childhood. Lack of fathers, lack of mothers, lack of parenting comes down to a lack of parenting, healthy parenting. Teachers step in, social workers step in, but they're not your mother, and they're not your father, and they're not your parents. We've lost parenting. My husband, I guess, thinks I'm funny and maybe have a lot to say because my brain just goes off. We've lost parenting. So now it's, what, Lord of the Flies? Alpha takes over? I don't think it is. I don't think it's Lord of the Flies' lack of parenting. I think it's too much parenting from not your parent. The government is not my mommy. My mommy wasn't even my mommy. Maybe that's what makes me special. I suffer from an orphaned mind. Extreme abandonment. It's an orphaned mind. Never had parents. I had a grandma. I had pretty much a bunch of bad examples until I found some decent friends, some real friends, and I've had to filter through them a few times too. want to be hurt anymore, and I don't want to be told no anymore, and I don't want to live in lack anymore. And I find the parallel of this lockdown. This is unacceptable. This happened to me my entire childhood. I guess I should be more clear. I was glad to be rid of my father, and I'm very grateful that my mom was working all the time, because there's memories of them being together, and it was awful. And I've just been looking for someone to parent me, right? Like, we all want someone. I'm not a professional, so correct me if I'm wrong and educate me, please. More information, please. Down below. This is going to be a whole little thing. Leave your comments, leave them down below. So help me with this one. Do we not all need a certain amount of people in our lives to create a healthy group? Like, penguins need 20, 21 other penguins to feel like they're normal. I think my desperation, my extreme lack, made me vulnerable to unhealthy relationships wherein I was looking for family. I was looking for parental guidance. I was looking for good friends. I was looking for sisters. I'm desperately searching for brothers. Like, all of that lack made me desperate and willing to be treated any way to be treated, because maybe you just look at me for 5 seconds. Even if the words were overly criticized and cutting, at least you were talking to me. And I think so many of us, too many of us, have suffered the lie that was never told. And I wish to be its opposition. I'm just talking to this camera, and it's helping me figure out what else I'd like to say. And I think the next thing I'll share is the image in my mind in the moment that I finally freed myself, finally experienced liberty, and I walked out of my cage. And that's all I'm trying to inspire the rest of the world to do. Because I know how hard it is to say no when somebody took it from you. My voice was stolen at a very young age. I was past 35. I think I was about 37 when I found where my no was buried. And I still don't know who took it. That's not even what's relevant. What's relevant is that I found it. What's relevant is that I got it back. Everything matters, particularly food and water. What you put in your mouth matters. What you choose to look at and see, what goes into your eyes, it matters. And what you hear day in and day out, oh, God, it matters. It matters more than anything. And now that I have severe mascara in the left eye, that's where we're ending today. Thanks for listening. You're brilliant, and you're wonderful, and you're amazing. And you're so strong, and you're so powerful, and you're here. You're here. I'm here. And thanks for listening. Like I said, this is the beginning of a lot of things and I don't know what I'm doing, so remember to like, remember to subscribe. Please have a real conversation with me. All is welcome because I wish to know my community. I wish to meet my family. I so desire to go forth out of my cage, stronger than ever, wiser than ever, with information to share that freed me, because it feels really good. I felt really bad for 40 years, and I don't feel bad anymore. Not sorry to be so weepy. Don't follow if you don't have a thing. If you can't, be cool with tears. And don't hang around if you don't like truth, or you think that people are too direct, or you find me prickly. Don't stay. You're not my people. I desire truth and I desire honesty. And I desire a long conversation. No more assumptions. No more misunderstandings. No more staying in my lane. I have no lane. I'm not a special anything. So I'm going to go to every lane I fucking want to and have a conversation for as long as I'd like. Like and subscribe, because I'm looking for family and I'm looking for real friends. Anybody else interested in being opposite of the narrative, finding your own voice, learning to say no, developing healthy boundaries, learning how to feed ourselves, and learning how to feel, feeding and feeling. Take care of yourselves, friends, and I'll see you again soon.